Well, good morning, Jim, coming to you from the swing again. Hey, it's a beautiful day. It's a beautiful life. Even though we're going through some tough times around here, we can still look at the past of some people and say not as tough as they had it. We're going to be talking about that today a little bit. Hey, listen, we're talking about, we went through the tabernacle and we kind of finished it up a little bit yesterday. Now we're going to be doing more of that because we're going to get into Leviticus, which is the actual God calling the priesthood and giving them the specifics about the priest sacrificing the priest and also the festivals, and that's going to be a fun time to go through. So we're going to be doing that. But today, I want us to go to Exodus 32. Now, let's just set the context a little bit here. Moses now had talked to the people. Remember in chapter 19, verse 8, he talked to the people and he told them, this is what's going to be required of you. This is your God now. And they said, all the people together said, and we will do and obey everything he said. And they made a covenant with God saying that they would be his children and obey them. Well, so I don't think they had any real idea, of course, what they were in for, because they were away from God's, just had the idols there in Egypt. So they didn't really know what it was to serve a living God. So Moses is at this time, we talked about chapters 22 through 40. In that area, you can read all about God speaking to Moses concerning all the requirements of everything he's going to require. Well, now Moses has gone up. They were 3 months or so in front of Mount Sinai, and they were going to be there a year. But after 3 months, God spoke to Moses, and he said, I want you to come up. And so Moses came up to the mountain, and then he went on to the top. Nobody went with him. Joshua went about halfway, and he went up, and God began to speak to him, and he wrote on the 2 tablets, both on each side, the 10 Commandments. So that was quite a story. Now, but what was happening at the camp? Now I want to talk about this today for just a moment, and we'll probably stay on this because you can't even get started in just a few minutes. But I want to talk about a devotion about what happens when your leader's away for a while and you don't sense the presence of God. How tough can it get, and how cold can you become, and how quickly can it happen? Well, here I'm going to start at 32, chapter 32. Now Moses has been up in the mountain. He was up there for 40 days. I mean, they didn't hear anything from Moses for 40 days. Now listen to what happened. If you want to read along, it's chapter 32 in Exodus. He said, now when the people saw that Moses delayed coming down from the mountain, sometimes we can get so impatient. Have you ever gotten impatient and not waited? They that wait upon the Lord shall renew their strength. Well, they got really frustrated. And so he said, the people gathered together around Aaron and said to him, come, make us a god. Or he said to us, he said, make us gods that shall go before us, for as for this Moses. Can you imagine? Here is a man that came and God used him mightily to do the miracles and all the plagues and everything, and crossing the Red Sea and all the things, and and here they are, but they don't know him. They don't know him, so they roll their eyes. Have you ever been around somebody just roll their eyes? That signifies the fact that they don't have much confidence in what they're saying, doing, or anything. They go, oh man, who is this guy? And that's what he was doing. And we got to watch that. We got to watch that in our service to the Lord. Don't you ever roll your eyes at what God tells us to do. Because I tell you what, you roll your eyes at God, you roll your eyes at the principles and the promises of God, and you do your thing, you're going to get in trouble. We're going to find out about it. So he said, this man who brought us up out of the land of Egypt, we do not know what has become of him. He's gone. They couldn't wait. And Aaron said to them, now, Aaron, up in the mountain, now think about this. Aaron's up in the mountain, God's saying, you know what? I'm going to use your brother as the high priest, and I'm going to use his sons as the priest, and the Levites are going to be the priest, and he's just giving them all, and they got this rosy story going of what's going to happen. And down the mountain, he doesn't know anything about it. And so Aaron's down there, and he said, all he knows is Egypt. All he really knows is, he saw the miracles just like all the rest of them, but all he knew was Egypt. And he said, I tell you what, here's what I'm going to do. Just bring all your earrings, all the girls that are in their earrings, the gold earrings. And he even says, listen to what he says. And there it said, break off the gold earrings which are in the ears of your wives, your sons. You think it's new because you boys are wearing earrings. That was way back then. It's not new. And he said, break off the earrings of your sons and your daughters and bring them to me. So the people broke off the golden earrings which were in their ears, and they brought them to Aaron. We're going to find out tomorrow what happened, okay?